So OpenAI came out with a blog piece about DALL-E 3 and everyone in the AI space is losing their mind. A lot of the YouTube videos are claiming that this is going to be the best text to image generator out there when it comes to AI capabilities. And I just want to pump the brakes on that because DALL-E 3 did not even come out yet. It is exciting that ChatGPT is going to be embedded into it because a large language model, especially the best that is currently available, being integrated into a text to image model is probably going to do a lot of good for the capabilities of the images. But let's not remember that DALL-E 2 absolutely sucks when compared to Midjourney or Stable Diffusion. So I'm sure that they are going to improve upon that, but let's not be so sure that they're going to hit it out of the ballpark and completely destroy the other text to image generators as other people are saying. And remember, competition is great, innovation is great, and if DALL-E 3 is what they're claiming it is, that's going to be great because it's going to incentivize Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Google, all these others that are in the text to image game to go ahead and step it up and to keep everyone on their toes. But I just want to point out that DALL-E 2 currently sucks. DALL-E 3 definitely looks like it's going to suck less. But let's take a look at the examples. Let's look at it objectively. Let's not just hoorah and say that DALL-E 3 has been released and it's the most amazing thing ever. It's not been released yet. And from what I've been seeing, I'm not seeing something that tells me right away that this is going to be a lot better than Midjourney. So let's dive in and take a look. So everybody is going crazy over this announcement by OpenAI that DALL-E 3 is now understanding more significantly the nuances and details than their previous system did, which allows you to easily translate your ideas into exceptionally accurate images. However, DALL-E 2 did not exactly blow my hair back. I've made tutorial about it in the past. It actually ranks quite nicely. As you can see, it has 15,000 views and I reviewed it about half a year ago. And honestly, it's about time that OpenAI upgraded DALL-E 2 because it was nothing impressive. And everybody's just going wild over these photos here because they're clicking on it and then they're looking at the prompt, like a 2D animation of a folk music band composed of anthropomorphic autumn leaves, each playing traditional bluegrass instruments amidst a rustic forest setting dappled with the soft light of a harvest moon. And they're like, oh my God, look, and they got all these instruments. And then they're popping this same exact prompt into Midjourney and saying, look, Midjourney does not do it half as decent. But you also have to understand, ChatGPT is embedded into DALL-E. And this is going to be a bit of a game changer as far as understanding, as far as large language models being incorporated into these text to image AIs. However, you also have to realize that on Midjourney, you do have to prompt things slightly differently. And so you can get a result like this. You would probably have to give it a little more detail and explain the different types of instruments that these leaves are holding and playing. Now, this one right here actually did get me a bit excited because you could see text. If you've used Midjourney, you know that the text always comes out as a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and I don't think this is by accident. I think that Midjourney can get the text right. They just choose not to because they don't want to accidentally have the signature of an actual artist that they went and created their art off of. They don't want to get sued, and so they don't have text display properly until they can assure that a signature will never pop up and cause some sort of serious litigation for them. But over here we see that this meme was created based on just a prompt of an illustration of an avocado sitting in a therapist's chair saying, I just feel so empty inside, with a fist-sized hole in its center. The therapist, a spoon, scribbles notes. And it did this perfectly, although we could see that the clipboard is in reverse. I do, however, like the way this came out, and this can change the game for making funny memes. And the fact that ChatGPT is incorporated into it, I think this will be the competitive advantage, the text features and the understanding. However, Midjourney is able to do some amazing things when it comes to photography and different types, and DALL-E 2 didn't even come close, so I'd be very surprised if DALL-E 3 right off the bat goes ahead and just crushes what the capability of Midjourney is. However, I think this is great because if DALL-E 3 really is what they're claiming it is, and it comes out and is able to do amazing things and not just cartoon-like or video game-like images as you're seeing in a lot of their examples, but actual stuff that looks close to real life, I'll actually be really impressed, and it's going to be healthy because then the Midjourney team is going to be like, okay, we have to step it up. We have to go and also create something and build the algorithm a little bit better, train the AI, make sure we fix all the glitches. Innovation is amazing for who? The user, because we get spoiled with all of these platforms, all of these programs. And you better bet that if OpenAI and DALL-E 3 starts to be very cheap to use, that Midjourney might even have to drop their prices, which again will help us, the consumer of these different artificial intelligence platforms, because we'll have to pay less. And this is going to be great because nobody can rest on their laurels. They have to continue to evolve. They have to continue to improve, or else they'll be swallowed up by the competition. So I'm really looking forward to DALL-E 3 launching. You better bet that I'm going to be reviewing it on this channel. Also, be mindful of going off of what these platforms post, because remember, OpenAI just released this. DALL-E 3 is not out. They just showed some images that are impressive. And they said, look, when you put in the prompt an expressive oil painting of a basketball player dunking depicted as an explosion of a nebula, it did a pretty crappy job in DALL-E 2, but DALL-E 3, it's actually looking like it did a phenomenal job, and you could see the number. Remember again, numbers, letters, they suck in Midjourney. And so this is going to motivate Midjourney to be like, okay, we have to go ahead and we have to figure out this numbers and letters situation, and we have to put out a newer version so that we really compete with DALL-E 3, so that if DALL-E 3 is released, it's not just gonna crush and take away the market share from Midjourney. And I love competition. This is why I am a proponent of capitalism. This is why I love America, because competition is great. Keeps everyone on their toes, keeps everyone incentivized to make better iterations of their product, of their service, of their platform, and that as a result gives us, the consumer, the greatest AI tools to play with. We're living in a very exciting time, and I cannot wait to see what these companies do. Stable Diffusion included, which I am aiming to make some tutorials about Stable Diffusion coming up in the next couple of weeks. So if you appreciate this kind of content, make sure you stay subscribed, and I will see you all in the next video.